dude that I was digging some time ago. And this particular individual stood me up twice. This individual stood me up twice. The first time he stood me up, he gave me some little cockadoodle excuse on why he did so. Whatever. Second time he stood me up, he gave me nothing. This dude gave me nothing. He didn't give me no type of explanation on why he did so. And then months passed before I heard from him again. All of a sudden, out of the clear blue sky, he calls me up talking about some, you know what, I have all of these great ideas that I would really like to discuss with you. And if possible, I would like to discuss them with you over lunch, whatever the case might be. Me, myself, and I'm feeling apprehensive on the situation because, again, this dude stood me up twice. Not once, but twice this dude stood me up. So I'm like, you know what? To be honest with you, you stood me up twice and that really was not cool of you. And he's like, no, I swear to God, man, this time we're going to meet up. We're going to talk. We're going to vibe out. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I'm like, you know what? Okay, that's fine. Where's the location? Where do you want to meet up at? He gives me the location. I said, and when do you want to make this happen? What time? What day? What's the tea? And he's like, okay, well, if possible, can we make it happen tomorrow? Wow, let's pause the story right there. So number one, you stood me up prior to this conversation twice. You know what I'm saying? Months before. And then you're expecting for me to drop everything that I got going on in my life, which you know nothing of, so that we can meet up over lunch and talk about ideas that you have. So for me, I felt kind of silly because opposed to me acknowledging this red flag, I just went with the flow. Okay, continue with the story. So on the next day, he calls me up and he's all like, you know what, are we still on? I'm like, yes, we are still on. He's like, okay, well, I'll be there in about 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'll be there in 20 to 25 minutes because I'm on my scooter. He's all right, no problem. Okay, so I'm hitting it on my scooter, get to the establishment, place my order for 2 slices of cheese pizza, Sprite, no ice, pay for my shit. I'm looking at him like, okay, it's your turn. The floor is yours to place your order, whatever the case might be. He's looking like a frantic mess because he's going all through his wallet, fumbling through his wallet. And it started to dawn on me like, tell me this fool has some freaking money. You don't have any fucking money? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm thinking 2 things. Number one, I'm a little annoyed with the situation because how on God's green earth are you going to invite me out to lunch and you have no money for lunch? You know what I'm saying? Now, again, I'm not the type of person who's expecting for you to pay for my lunch just because you invited me out for lunch. But at the same token, at the bare minimum, like bare essentials, you should at least, you know what I'm saying? You should at least be able to pay for your own lunch. Is that too much to ask? Maybe I'm asking for too much to say that he should be able to pay for his own lunch. No? And then the second thing I'm thinking is, okay, I'm embarrassed for this dude. I'm feeling a little bad for him because, you know, the line is waiting behind him for him to place his order, but he can't place his order because he doesn't have the money to pay for his freaking order. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know, let me just do the right thing and just pay for this man's food. It's nothing. I'm like, okay, what is it that you want? And he places his order. We sit down, they deliver our food, and then we start talking. Now, we're talking about his business endeavors that he wanted to do, whatever the case might be. And then we started talking about a bunch of random things that had nothing to do with the business endeavors, which I was not, you know, tripping on because, you know, once I was sitting down talking to him, I'm like, he is a pretty cool dude. I'm kind of feeling his vibe right now. And I'm not really tripping. You know what I'm saying? We're having a good conversation. The conversation is a continuum. Like, it just keeps going, like the Energized Bunny. You know what I'm saying? That we actually have something to talk about. So I was not tripping. He decided, like, you know, I think we should hit the bookstore so that we can, you know, continue the conversation at the bookstore, continue the vibe session, whatever the case might be. And I'm like, okay, I'm all good for that because, you know what, I love going to the bookstore. That's one of my things because I am a nerd on the inside. You can't tell on the outside, but I am a nerd and I do love going to the bookstore and just sitting in a little comfy couch, looking at my little dog book and my little art books and whatever the case might be. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So we get there, and on this particular occasion, the comfy couches were gone. They were not available. They were occupied. So I'm sitting my little ass on the floor, and everybody, you know, I'm a thin dude. So I'm not, you know, when it comes to hard surfaces, I'm not really partial to those because for me, I don't have a flat butt, but I don't have the biggest butt either. So I don't have a lot of meat in that particular section, which means when I sit on a hard surface for too long, my ass starts hurting. I'm like, bitch, my butt is hurting. So I'm like, you know, my ass is hurting. I'm really going to need like a chair or something. He's like, well, I see a footstool. I'm like, where do you see one at? He's like, right over there. So I get ready to get up and get it. He's like, no, I got this. It's no big deal. I'll go get it. So then I'm like, okay, all right. Being assertive. Okay, being assertive, being a little aggressive. Okay, taking control like Janet Jackson. I'm not knocking that. I'm good. So he goes to get the little stool, and I'm thinking to myself, that's cute. Mental note. That was very nice to him. That was very cute. So then afterwards, we're walking out of the little, you know, bookstore, and I'm like, you know what, would you like some ice cream? And he's like, yeah, sure. And, you know, once we got to the little ice cream shop, which was Cold Stones, which, girl, pause the story again. First of all, I don't too much care for Cold Stones because I really don't like their shit because I used to work with them and I saw some things that perhaps I should not have seen. But again, I had no other option. There was no other ice cream places to go to. And so I was like, you know what? Even though I don't like too much care for Cold Stones, I will go to Cold Stones because that's the only ice cream little shop that I see in the, you know, vicinity, whatever the case might be. So I was like, okay, girl, no big deal. Get to the ice cream parlor. I ordered myself, I want to say the cheesecake ice cream with some yellow cake, pound cake, whatever the fuck that shit is. Because the first mix-in is free at Cold Stones. And then I got it in the Love It size. Okay. And again, yet again, he's going through his wallet fumbling like he's looking for something. I'm like, you know what? Since I did suggest the ice cream shop, I think it's fair that I pay for his ice cream too. I'm not really tripping. It's not that big of a deal. It's nothing. So I'm like, you know what? I got this. Don't just order what you want, whatever the case might be. Now, even though I said order what you want, as far as I'm concerned, there are some unwritten rules about when somebody else is paying for your shit. Maybe I'm wrong and maybe I'm crazy to say what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it nonetheless. First of all, if somebody's offering to pay for something for you, okay, you need to look at what that person ordered before you so that you can keep it in the same frame of what they ordered. Meaning, if I order something that's $10, that does not give you the freaking license to order something that's $80, $75, $90. You need to keep it around $10 or below. That's the way that I feel about it. I think it's kind of rude when somebody offers to pay for something for you and you go crazy with like, okay, can I get some red wine on ice and can I get some this and can I get some that? Okay, girl, I didn't even get all that. So why do you think that you should? You know what I'm saying? So he's sitting up here gonna get the biggest ice cream next to the gallon, which clearly he wasn't gonna order the gallon because what is he ain't gonna be able to eat that whole gallon now. Then again, he might surprise me, I don't know. But the whole point in the nutshell is, why would he sit up here and place this order for this gotta have it ice cream, which is the largest size you can get from the Like It Love It, and then you got the gotta have it, and then he got like 6 mix-ins. That was kind of rude to me. I'm like, why would you order all this when you're not paying for anything? So okay, fine. So then we sit down and we're talking. We're having a crazy cool, crazy sexy cool situation. Like TLC. We're having a little conversation and it's really going good. And then we started talking about some personal things. You know what I'm saying? He started talking about things in his little situation that he's doing. I started talking about personal things in my career, not even career. Well, my career and my personal life in reference to my love life, which at this point is depleted. I'm not really dealing with no one. Not because I don't want to, but just because nobody has really presented anything that I think is worthy of my time. And I don't say that, I say that with a humble heart. I don't mean that in a stuck-up way, but I don't necessarily believe in wasting my time, which is why this story is so trifling. But we're gonna clock the T at the end of it. So then, he's giving me all this advice, like, you know what, you have a beautiful energy, and I could just see the energy around you, and you just have such a beautiful spirit, and I'm just really enjoying this conversation, Squaze, and you have to be careful who you let into your life. Catch this right here, what I'm about to say. You have to be careful about who you let into your life, because people will take advantage of you and take your kindness for a weakness, and then take that inch and run with the mile. I'm thinking to myself, you're talking about other people, but what you're speaking about is what you are. You're saying that I should not be around these type of people, and still, the pizza I paid for, the ice cream I paid for, though I'm not really tripping on the ice cream because I suggested the ice cream, what was the reason for the pizza? You're the one who invited me out to lunch, and yet you did not pay for anything. So then, again, I didn't say none of that because I'm thinking to myself, even though he is the person that he is describing, he is giving me good advice. So I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna step out of the teacher mode, and I'm gonna become the student for a minute and listen to what he really has to say. So he gave me all this great advice, and I took it for what it was. You know what I'm saying? I left what I didn't need. I took what I needed, and made mental notes of what I needed to know in reference to him. Okay, so then after that, it's getting kind of, late. The sun is beginning to set. And I'm like, are you ready to go? He's like, no, I want to hang out some more, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, really, there's nothing else to do. What is it that we can do? And he's like, well, we can go to the bar and get some drinks, whatever the case might be. I'm like, well, 2 things. Number 1, I'm only 20 years old. Number 2, I don't drink. I said, I can accompany you, but I don't drink, so I'll just be there with you. He's like, okay, that's cool. Okay. Get to the bar, and yet again, he's fumbling through that goddamn wallet. And I'm thinking to myself, now see, this is the epitome of being trifling. This is some straight up triflinility. Triflinility at its best, because how is it that, number 1, I don't drink? Number 2, I didn't really even too much when it comes to the bar. Number 3, I was ready to end the date. And number 4, you're the only one who's drinking, and yet you're sending off this energy like you think I'm supposed to pay for it. How is that? How does that work out? I really did not understand how he was giving me this energy. Like, he didn't say it, but he was giving me the energy like, I don't have no money for me to pay for my beer, You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, that is some dumb ass shit. But again, because I was starting to kind of like this dude a little bit, I'm like, you know what? What is it that you want? At this point, I'm annoyed with the whole situation. Like, what is it that you want? And he's just like, can I get the pitcher of beer? Because if I get 3 beers, then that'll be more expensive than just getting the pitcher. And then I'm thinking to myself, is this fool really sitting up here telling me, like, breaking down the comparing prices like this? Because number 1, if I told you I was gonna pay for your beer, it's just that a beer. Ain't no S on that. Who told you that I was gonna buy 3 beers? Talking about the best price. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he even assumed that I was just going to be every time, like, okay, can I get another beer? Yes. Can I get another beer? Yes. The fact that he thought I was just going to continue to pay for his beers like that really annoyed me, because at this point, I'm like, he is really using me. He is just, everything that we have, anything that cost money that we did on that day was coming from me. From the lunch that we had, from the ice cream that we had, from the beer that he was drinking, all came from me. So then, you know, he ended up ordering that pitcher of beer, for which he drank all on his own. And then after that, he's like, can we go to the package store so that I can get me, the liquor store, so that we can get me, so I can get me such and such and such and such. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So then we get there, and at this point, I'm just kind of over it. Like, girl, I'm ready to go home, whatever the case might be. And then he's fumbling through his wallet again. And I'm just looking like, okay. And then he gonna look at me, once I didn't offer this time, he gonna look at me like, do you have $2? I'm like, yeah, I do. He's like, well, could I borrow it? I'm like, girl, I hate people say borrow, knowing good and well they do not have the intention of paying you back. But I'm like, yeah, you can borrow it. So I gave him the $2 so he can get what he was trying to get. And then the straw that actually broke the humpback whale's back was, as the conversation continued to go on, and I was just kind of over it, and I just kind of kept throwing signs out there like I was ready to go. And that's one thing I hate about people. I hate when a person, when they see that you're tired or they see that you're ready to go, they won't offer like, okay, you ready to go? You want to go home? They'll just continue to let things go on. So I'm like, okay, he's not picking up on what I'm saying. I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And then he gonna end up, the thing that broke the humpback whale's back is when he asked me to pay for some illegal drugs. Now again, I do not smoke, I do not drink, I do not do drugs. If that's what you want to do, that is fine, as long as it's not harming me. I don't too much give a fuck. It is your body to destroy. Do what you want to do. But at the same token, don't think that I'm going to sit up here and fund your habit. Again, it's probably my fault, because I'm the one who conditioned this bitch when I bought the pizza, when I bought the ice cream, when I bought the beer, and when I bought that other thing that he got at the package store. It's probably my own fault, because now I got him thinking that whatever he wants, he's going to get. But that's not the case. I have to put my foot down. I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for that. And then at that point, he was pretty much kind of over it, because at this point, once I told him no, it was kind of like, okay, well then fine. And he was like, all right, well, I guess I'll see you later, whatever. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So as I was walking to my scooter, I was feeling disappointed, because I'm like, you know what? Opposed to me being smart about the situation and not even going out with him in the first place, like my instincts told me, you know what I'm saying? I went out with him, and then he took me to the cleaners. He took me to the goddamn cleaners. This man got a free meal out of me, free dessert, free beer, free freaking everything that he had, with the exception of them drugs that he was wanting to get, came out of my pocket. What? And I'm like, what? This is not even in character for me. You know what I'm saying? But then once I got on my scooter, I just sat there. It started to rain a little bit, and I just sat on my scooter. I'm like, Quadia, what are you going through? Like, what are you going through to where you felt like you had to pay for this man's everything? Were you feeling like if you pay for his everything that maybe he would like you? What was it mentally that I was going through at that point in time that I felt like I had to pay for this man's everything? And then I came to the conclusion that I was blinded by what I thought could be. Right? But that's no excuse, because I knew up front that he was not the right token for me. He was not the bill that I needed to be paying. You get what I'm saying? He was not the bill for me. But then, you know, once I got home, I thought to myself, I said, you know what? That's the one great thing about the map of life. The map of life is not like a traditional map of the world. You know what I'm saying? The map of life works a little something like this. No matter how lost you get, you always take one step in the right direction. Now, let me explain that a little bit, okay? Even though I was wrong for paying for all what this man had that day, his pizza, his ice cream, his beer, and his other item. Now, he don't even just say some damn cigarettes, because he said he didn't want to know about that, but then again, I didn't say his fucking name, so I don't give a fuck. I got him some cigarettes, which I did not want to do, but I did it anyway, against my better judgment. And so, I'm like, you know, even though I did something that I really shouldn't did by paying for this man's everything on that particular day, you know what I'm saying? He showed me his true colors, and he showed me that this is not a person that I want to be involved with. And so, because I know that he is not what I need to be around, that's what's going to allow me to go in the right direction, because I see that this is the wrong way, allowing me to go in the right direction. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes you have to get a little lost before you can find your way. You have to get a little lost before you can find your way, because sometimes you may think something is good for you, and until something really happens to show you otherwise, you're going to continue. Because how can you know any better when you don't know? You get what I'm saying? You can't know any better when you don't know. So I had to go through that to understand that I deserve better. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't mind treating the person that I'm with and being affectionate with them and buying them things, whatever the case might be, but that has to be reciprocated. It can't be on one end. It can't just be me paying for this, that, and the fourth, and you just sitting here enjoying the benefits of being with me because I'm buying this, that, and the fourth. I'm not the richest dude, but at the same token, pizza, this, that, and the fourth, that's just a little bit too much for you not to be my man. Like, that's something that I would want to do for somebody that I'm with. And even then, we have to be on the mental understanding that I'm not going to be paying for everything. Okay, everything, man. I'm not buying everything. You know what I'm saying? And I think that because me being a person who's never been in a relationship, I feel like India Arie, I'm ready for love. You know what I'm saying? And/or Mariah Carey, I want to know what love is. And I want to just experience that at least one good time in my life so that I can say I've been there, done that, bought a t-shirt. And I can either say, wish you were here, or I can say, bitch, that resort was whack. But at the same token, I think that I was just wanting to know what that felt like, that I was willing to pay for this man's food and all what he had that on that particular day so that I could experience what it felt like to be in that situation. But this is the way I look at it. The other day when I was on my live broadcast, I said something to the effect of, I feel like I have all of the tools to be the perfect boyfriend and to make somebody very happy, but I just have not had that opportunity to prove it and to show that person that I'm worthy of their love and that I love myself and I'm secure in myself, so therefore we can grow together because we both have sturdy foundations, whatever the case might be. And I just kept saying, you know, I just haven't had that opportunity, man. I just haven't had the opportunity. But here's the thing that I've come to realize. I was eating breakfast and it dawned on me. I'm like, you know what? Just because you have the tools for a procedure does not mean you are ready to operate. You are not ready to operate. If you're in school to be a doctor, just because you have a scalpel and a stethoscope does not mean you're ready to perform open heart surgery. All that means is you have the potential to be on that level. So perhaps I have these tools, but I still need to cultivate myself and the understanding of where I'm coming from when it comes to relationships and love with just in general before I can actually delve into that and really be where I need to be to make it a successful successful relationship work out, if that makes any type of sense. You know what I mean? So people, I said all this to say this: know that you are beautiful and that you are worth the best. Do not settle for less. Do not settle for less, because in the end, all you're gonna feel is resentment. You're gonna lower your self-esteem. You're gonna question everything that you do. Like, should I do it? Should I? Just know what you're worth and don't settle for less. It's not about being conceited. It's not about being picky. It's about knowing, listen, I know what I'm bringing to the table. You have to meet me and or be above what I'm doing. And I'm not saying that you have to be financially on my level. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying any of that. But all I'm saying is bring what I'm bringing to the table. Be secure in yourself. Know where you're coming from and know where you're wanting to go. You get what I'm saying? But at the same token, don't let nobody ride on your coattails. Don't just sit up here and be somebody's meal ticket in. Because no tea, no shit, I don't know, because I didn't go any further with that situation. That was the last time I spoke to that particular person. But what I'm saying is, what happens if I would have continued on with that? Maybe he would have entertained me, but it wouldn't have been real. It wouldn't have been real. It would not have been real. Because as soon as I told him I wasn't paying for them drugs, you see how the night ended. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? As a human, even though, like, sometimes I have to play my own therapist, but even when I have my moments of weakness where it's like, you know what, I really want to know what this feels like. I want to be able to take care of somebody and prove that I could be an awesome boyfriend, husband, father, whatever the case. I want to be able to prove it. Like, I want to be able to prove it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, if the time isn't right, the time isn't right. And I may say that, but I know that when it's all said and done, thank God, thank you, Lord, for blessing me to have the intelligence to be able to pull myself out of the situation. Because you have some people who will see a situation that is wrong, and even when they identify it altogether, they'll let it go on for years and years and years and years and years. And they may never leave that person who was doing them wrong. The only way they may leave that person is if that person leaves them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, dude. Just know your worth. Know your worth and don't settle for less. Know that you're worth the best. You're worth the best. And if somebody's not giving you not only what you want but what you need, because you have to reciprocate it. And the other way around, they should leave you if you're the kind of person that I'm talking about. Like, it works both ways. And on that note, I'm thinking I'm about to go take me a bubble bath because I just brought me some oh, this is a stop on this. No, that's over what we was just talking about. Let me tell you about this. I just got me some cute bubble bath, because the last bubble bath situation that I had, I really liked it, but the one before the one that I just had, when I got in the water, it would just make you feel so silky, and that's what I like, because my body is firm. Like, I have, as feminine as that people may think I am, like, I have very manly hands, like very like masculine, like rough, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you hear that? Like, very rough hands. So I have to do a lot of like soaking and stuff like that. So, you know, I need something that's going to make me feel silky and stuff like that because I need it. Like, my body's very firm. I need that. So, I got this new bubble bath, and I'm really wanting to try that out. No, that would be lame, doing a review on some damn bubble bath. Girl, kaboom, and explode. Oh, and then let me say this also before I go off. If you have not picked up the Barbra Streisand album, please pick it up, because let me just tell you something. If you're a music lover, let me just say that. I'm not going to just say please pick it up. If you're a music lover, pick up the Barbra Streisand album. That album is awesome. I bought it and I have been just blowing that shit the fuck out. It stopped working. I don't know if it stopped working because of something that I did wrong or because I've been playing it so much. The best thing that I've experienced in reference to music recently is the Barbra Streisand album. At nighttime when you play that record, baby, it's like an experience. It just makes her record is about love and spontaneity and, you know, just being happy and all things of this nature, and it's very whimsical, and it's a beautiful record. I'm so thankful that she made it because it's giving me everything that I need right now. It's feeding my soul what it needs to have at this particular moment in my life and things of this nature. So, girl, Barbara, I really want to meet her. Barbara Walters. I wouldn't mind meeting Barbara Walters either, but Barbra Streisand first. I would love to meet Barbra Streisand, Elizabeth Taylor, and Raven-Symoné. Those are my three. But anyway, and 3 is my lucky number, seeing as though I was born on November 3rd. You know, like I say, everything good happens in 3s. So, with that being said, and bad. They say bad thing happens in 3s too, so I guess I'm getting the best of both worlds. Or the best and the worst of both worlds. But with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go because at this point I'm rambling and I'm doing an ADHD rant and attention deficit disorder, hyper attention deficit disorder rant at this particular moment in time. So I'm going to let you guys go.